Good morning. It is Tuesday, April the 14th. I'm streaming to you from my Muskoka room in Muskoka. Seems like we're going to be staying home a lot longer than we had planned on initially. So this is a much more pleasant place to stream than from my husband's office. I just realized I didn't put any makeup on today. Look at that. Makeup on Friday. Okay. Good morning from Muskoka. Hi, Will. How are you? Glad to have you today. Hi, Judy. How you doing? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear me appropriately? Hopefully. And I'm going to give myself a test in terms of angle. Here. Here. Yeah, I think you can see everything that I do today. Good to see you, Will. Okay, so you guys need a strap or a belt or a long towel that you can pull against. I see. I have a stack of books about this thick. A yoga block would work just as well, or a really small box. You want it to be solid though. And a mat. Good morning. I hope everybody had a really great long weekend, as quiet as it was. Hi. Hello. Julie. Hi, honey. Hey, Pammy. So glad to see you guys this morning. Hi, Maria. Julie, I am. I'm doing Recovery 101, Mobilize, Stabilize, and Stretch. You need a yoga block. Pam would work just as well as a stack of books. I didn't bring my yoga block up here, so that's what I have. Oh, on your big TV. That's scary. I didn't wear makeup today. So I'm using the stack of books in lieu of a yoga block. Or you can use a small solid box. You also need a long towel or a strap. Or a belt will work. We're going to be using this for some of our mobility and stabilizing things that we're doing today. And you need a mat. If you're bony in the knees, you might want to have a little extra cushioning for there. Hey, Marilyn, I see you're here. Hi, Elise. So glad to see you. So we got a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and start on time. Hi, Justin. Hey, Michelle. So glad to see you guys today. Thank you, honey. I feel pretty fortunate. I forget to be grateful for this sometimes. Julie, yes, Tuesdays and Fridays at 9:30. Tuesday's always a recovery class, and Friday's always body weight conditioning. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, guys. I am right outside of Port Carly on Muskoka. Hey, Michelle. Okay, we got one more minute. Will, you could set your watch to a functional training if you're going to set your watch at all. I'm going to set my watch to that. Or yoga would work just as well, probably. I think maybe I'll do yoga. I'll say it's yoga. It'll be similar intensity. Hey guys, I am Tech. I'm on both, and they're both correct, Antech, both YouTube and Insta. Super happy to be able to say. Hi, Stephanie. All these people from the lawn and from the RCYC. So I'm noticing on Insta, it gives you an opportunity to ask to be live in the video. But what we found out is if I say yes to that, you end up taking all of the screen, and I need everybody to be able to see my whole body. So I'm not ignoring you. I would prefer it that way because that's kind of what Zoom is like. But I need you to have a total viewpoint of what we're doing. All right, can everybody hear me? One more time, thumbs up. I'm going to assume the answer is yes, and I'm going to raise my voice a little bit. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Hi. Okay, so welcome. Again, I'm Lee Gavarkovs. I am streaming from my cottage in Muskoka. Holed up here for the foreseeable future. So I went ahead and installed my internet service here so that I could still keep working with you guys. So I feel pretty fortunate to be here. And hi Jade, happy birthday, Jade. I feel pretty fortunate that you guys still want to join me. So thank you so much. It is Tuesday, the 14th of April at 9:30, which means this is Recovery 101 day. Recovery 101 is focused on stabilizing through your larger joints. Mobilizing through your larger joints, stabilizing through all of your core, which includes your shoulders and your hips, and then we end with a really great, big, delicious stretch at the end. So by the end of this hour, you will have endorphins, and you should feel loose and energized and really open through the places that are typically tight, just from sitting all of the time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're just coming in, you need a mat, you need either a long towel, a strap, or a belt. And I left my yoga block at home. So I'm going to use this stack of books. You can use a stack of books, you can use a yoga block, you can use a little solid box. You want to be able to put a little bit of weight of your foot in there. And we'll get going. So we're going to start standing up. Right here, and I'm going to give you a moment to kind of just check in with your own body and see how you're feeling today. We'll do this again at the end, and you should actually feel quite a bit of difference, especially through your hips, your back, your shoulders. So the first thing I want you to do is bring your feet directly underneath your hips. If you've worked in my classes before, this is nothing new to you, so enjoy. I want you to close your eyes now and just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale through your mouth, I want you just to scan through your body. How does your brain feel today? How's your neck and upper back? How are your hips? How's your low back? Are you cold? Are you warm? What's going on? Now, inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to send energy through your feet, rooting yourself into the ground. Think of your feet as two tripods, so try to send equal amount of energy into both sides of the balls of your feet and your heel at the same time. Notice that as you send energy down, the rest of your body is going to start to feel like it's floating up just a little bit. I want you to keep that going. Deep breath in. And as you exhale and your feet are pressing down, I want you to take your thighs and pull them up against your thigh bone towards your hip. And notice that as you focus on tightening your thighs, you're going to feel the backs of your legs sink towards the floor. It may be small right now, it'll be much bigger later. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, keep all that energy down into the floor, squeeze your glutes and feel the front of your hips broaden and open up. And you're going to start to feel the muscles in your deep core turn on. Do a Kegel here. Excellent place to do a Kegel. So keeping all of that going, inhale. And as you exhale, let gravity pull your fingertips into the ground. You're going to feel like there's a warm, heavy pair of hands on either side of your neck, right on your upper back where it's usually tense, just gently pressing down and out. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, your head is a big helium-filled balloon. All four sides of your neck are the same length, and your head's floating right up to the ceiling. Just a couple more breaths, and as you're breathing, I want you to think about where you're holding tension right now. And I want you to already begin to think about letting go of the muscles in your forehead, letting go of the muscles in your jaw. I hold tension right at the back of my jaw by my ears. Let that go. Let go of your fingers. Let go of your toes. And give yourself permission to be wherever you are today, both physically and emotionally. All right, so I'm going to step back a little bit so everybody can see my feet. And we're going to start from the ground up as we work our way through our body today. The first thing I want you to do is take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. You can turn out a little bit if that's the way that you typically squat. And I want you to sit down in your deepest squat. Reach your hands forward of your shoulders. And everybody's got their own depth to their squat. If you notice, my squat's not very deep, and we'll talk about why that is in a little bit. But by the end of this hour, your squat should feel easier to get into. Hold it right there. Don't move. Close your eyes and think about what's tense inside your hips. Feel around with your brain inside your ankles. And now I want you to raise your arms up towards your ears. Keep your arms long. So your hips are down, your feet are pressing into the ground, and your fingertips are reaching up. Feel those postural muscles kicking on now. And this is our test. We're going to come back to this test a few times throughout this hour. And what should be happening as we do it is it's going to get easier to get into this position and hold it. So one more deep breath in. Exhale, sit down just a little bit deeper. And come up. And let's get to work. So first things first, dealing with your feet. I'm diagonally so you can see my toes. I want you to pull your toes up off the ground. Let the arches of your feet dome. Spread your toes apart. Pull your toes together. And now just place them on the ground and let your feet ooze out. I don't know if ooze is really a technical term. So using your breath any way you want to. Notice that you may want to hold your breath, and I don't want you to. Lift your toes. Spread them out. And, okay, thank you for that tip on the music. Spread them out. Is that better, Karen? Give me a thumbs up. Drop your toes. And let your feet just relax. We're going to do that one more time. Toes up, arches dome. Spread out your toes. Bring them back in. And put your feet on the ground. You want to keep that belly pulling towards your ribs. You want to keep a little activity happening in your thighs and your glutes. And now you're going to take your toes and you're going to squish them toward your heels. Like you're trying to grab onto your mat and pull it towards you hard. And release. And we'll do that 2 more times. Thank you. And squeeze, pull, squeeze, and release. And one more time, take your toes and try to pull your mat with your toes towards your heels. And release. We're going to go the other way, sort of. Take one heel and place it right on top of the landing pad of your foot. Press your knee toward your second and third toe and really push the ball of the foot into the ground and then put the heel back on the ground. And we're gonna switch. Pressing forward, knee goes over the second and third toe. And release. We'll do that 4 more times, pressing over the ball of the foot. And I want you to rock into the big toe joint right here, just a little bit. And see if that feels a little tight to you right now. And release. Other foot. And release. And 2 more. So your feet should be feeling pretty warm now. And what you might also notice is that your shins and your calves are starting to heat up a little bit as well. And put that heel down. Go ahead and take your legs out a little bit wider than your typical squat is. Sit down, let your knees look at your second and third. Bring your toes, bring your hands towards the floor, push your knees out just a little bit and hang just for a second. And now come on down to the ground. So as we start to focus a little bit more on the ankle, you're gonna notice that your hips are gonna start to open up as well. Take one leg diagonally away from you. You're gonna hinge at the hips, bring your hands to the ground, and we're gonna rock your knee towards your second and third toe. I want you to push forward enough to where you feel where your ankle is gonna get tense and flat right here. If you need to, you can bring your leg a little bit closer to you and push the knee forward just a little bit more. So less focus right now on your hip, even though I know you're feeling it, more focus about what's happening in your ankle. Let's do that 2 more times. Delicious, I think. One of my faves. You know what? Let's do that one more time because it does feel so good. And release that. Using the same leg. Here's where you take your stack of books and I'll turn it sideways so you can see me. Or your yoga block or your little box. And we're going to take your towel as an option. You're going to put that foot up on that stack of books. And again, focusing on your ankle, less than your hip right now. So you're going to shift forward until your knee is going past your second and third toe. Press that heel into the blocks. You're going to feel a stretch right here. Okay? So now you have a couple of choices. You can bend over, take your finger right here at that little crease in your ankle and sort of press into that as you shift forward. Or I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to place it underneath my ankle bones and I'm going to pull down diagonally as I shift forward. So just there's a little bone there called your talus, getting that sort of out of the way and making it glide backwards the way it's supposed to give us proper ankle mobility. Now let's do this 3 more times. Shifting forward, pulling down and back. Shifting forward, pulling down and back. And 1 more time. Shifting forward. Okay. So we got 2 legs. We're going to go right to the other leg. Diagonal stance. Hinge over, shifting the knee over your second and third toe. And you're going to start to feel a little warmer as we go. I'm about to take off my fleece. I can't believe I'm saying that. 3 more times, I believe, so that we're even. Right past the second and third toe. So bring your foot in closer if you don't feel a lot of activity right here. 2 more. And 1 more time. Okay. Putting your foot on your block or your books or your box or whatever you have. And again, you can do this just body weight. Get that knee past your second and third toe. If you want a little bit more action here, you're going to press right back into the crease right there. I feel my tendons popping because they want to hang on. If you want a little bit more, you're going to take your strap underneath the pointy part of your ankles and pull down diagonally as you shift forward. And let's go 5, 4, 3, and 2, and one more time. Pulling down and back. Okay. So you can put your books or your block or whatever it is out of the way because you won't really be using that again. And we're going to pay attention to your wrists just for a second before we go back to those ankles. So kneeling up, put your hands together, get your elbows together, and just roll through your wrists. And have you guys been doing this like I told you to on a regular basis? Anytime you find that you're at your computer for an elongated period of time, take a break every hour and do this. Go the other way. Okay, so continuing, you are going to feel your hips, but we're still focusing on the ankles and feet. You want to put your hands down on the ground, right underneath your shoulders. Push the hands down. Hey, Bernie, tuck the toes under, and you're going to shift your hips back towards your heels. My knees are off the ground, but if you see, they're not very far off the ground. Now, just kind of rock your ankles back and forth, and then find downward dog. Drop the knees, push back, push forward and up into downward dog. Feel the back of the legs start to open up at the same time, but I want you to focus right here on your big toe joint. Little rock, back up, 2 more times. Back up. And one more time. Beautiful. If you have knee problems, you can untuck your toe and come right here into child's pose. If you don't have knee issues, sit back on your heels and feel the fronts of your ankles opening up, feel the tops of your feet opening up. And while we're here, we might as well look at those wrists again. I don't know about you, but if I don't pay attention to my feet, what happens when I'm in, go the other way, child's pose or anything where the tops of my feet are on the floor is I start to clamp. So this is ensuring that I'm nice and releasing the front of my ankle as well. Shake out your wrists. We're going to do those 2 things one more time. This time let's start in down dog. Hips up, chest pressing back. Now you do have the option just to stay here. If this feels really good for you, you do not have to go into, this is called a loaded ape. Back up. And you'll notice that my heels don't go on the ground when I'm in down dog, but if your heels can touch the ground, that's preferable. You're super lucky. And knees down, push back against that big toe joint, and one more time, come into down dog. That should feel really good. And come to your knees, untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. So lots of choices coming up. You're going to take your legs wide, put your hands on your thighs for support, and just drop your hips. Let your knees come to your second and third toes. If you don't have knee issues, you're going to bring your legs a little closer together. Let your heels touch the ground if you can. I'm a little jealous if you can. I can't. I'm going to let my heels reach toward the ground. And make sure your knees are looking at your second and third toe. And just hold. Rock your tailbone back a little bit. Breathing deeply. So 1 of 2 choices. And now put your hands to the ground. Turn your toes in. Turn upside down. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs. Push the floor away as you slowly rise up. And already you should start to feel a little bit more open from the waist down. We're going to focus a little bit more on the hips next. So going back to that squat though, sit down, raise your hands shoulder height, lift your arms up, stay there. Can you go lower? What's happening inside your hips now? What's happening with your postural muscles? How tight are you through the front of your shoulders? What does your spine feel like? Breathing deeply, sit down just a little bit deeper. And now come on out of that squat. Moving the focus to your hips. So, the first thing that we're gonna do is open the gate, close the gate, do the other leg. So the idea is to try to keep the pelvis nice and still, get a good flex in the front of the hip, open the gate, just lubing up your hip joints. Working on your balance too, by the way, in case you didn't notice that I just nearly fell out of it. 4 more. Nice and easy. So when I woke up this morning, I heard birds singing, even though there happened to be snow on the ground. That made me feel so hopeful. 1 more with each leg. Open the gate, close the gate, open the gate, close the gate, and take those feet out wide again. Slightly turned out, you're gonna hinge down, little softness in the knees, sit down as low as you can. So, unless I raise my heels, I can't sit down any lower, but if your heels can stay on the ground, you can drop those hips, I want you to. Turn right back upside down, hands on the thighs, hinge up, nice long spine. Squeeze your glutes. Hinge down, knees look at the second and third toe, sit down, upside down, hands on your thighs to come up. We'll do that 2 more times. Hinge, sit, chest up, hold, upside down. How does that feel? And up, and 1 more time, down you go. Heels are pressing into the ground, chest is up, upside down, and hinge back up. Take your legs a little bit further apart, let your toes face forward. Find that hinge and we're gonna go side to side. So you're gonna feel the inner thigh opening up. Nice and easy. And let's do 8, 7, 8 guys. 6, 5, belly is tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it center and roll up. So with all the things we just did, you probably are starting to feel your core muscles kick in to help support your spine, which is a good thing. We're gonna do those 3 things 1 more time. So open the gate. Let's see if you can just make it a little bit easier or a little bit bigger. Other leg. Open the gate, close the gate. And we have 4, and 3, and beautiful. Step out wide. You're gonna hinge. This time, you're gonna sit and raise your arms to back in that deep squat. A little bit wide stance though. Sit down a little bit more, come up. Hinge, sit, shift back, reach up, and come up. Let's do 2 more. Hinge, sit, shift and reach, and come up. By now, it should just be feeling really good to move. Hinge, sit, shift and reach, and come up. Take the legs a little bit wider and shift side. Try to bring 1 hand down to the floor. Don't worry about it if you can't get that low. Get the hips lower than your shoulders. And let's do 8, 7. What I notice is here, my nose doesn't droop as much as when I stream from my husband's office on the carpet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands on your thighs and slowly roll up. Shoulder roll. Bring your feet back in. Shake it out a second. Close your eyes. You should feel a lot looser and a lot warmer from the waist down again. So let's try that squat test one more time. A little wider than hip distance apart. Slightly turned out if you need. Have a seat as low as you can go. And raise your arms. And just notice, what do you feel like in your ankles now compared to almost 30 minutes ago? What do you feel like in your hips? How are those core muscles treating you right now? Are they starting to really feel like they're actively working? Can you sit a little bit lower? Drop those shoulders. Relax that face. It's all good. Little bit lower. And squeeze out. Have a seat. We're going to stay in the hip for just a little bit more. This is going to feel good though, hopefully. So hands behind you for support. You want to sit up as tall as you can, and you're going to drop one knee, lift the hip, and bring it good. I'm going to get a little closer so you guys can see. Around. Draw up in your belly, and around. And around. And let's do 8, 7. If you want to start working on your core muscles a little bit, bring your hands in front. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1 more. Delicious. Bring the knees in. Take the feet a little bit away from you and open your knees. So I look like the shape of a diamond here. I'm going to pull that a little bit closer to my body today. So pulling the knees in and opening. Sit up as tall as you can, and if you need support, you put support with your hands on the floor. I'm fine with that. So bringing it in and opening, and we're going to start paying attention to the spine a little bit as you reach to the side and come center. Make sure both butt cheeks stay on the floor. Bring the knees in. Now this time, you're going to reach diagonally, same arm, over that leg. Keep your spine long and come center. So 3 more times that way. Here we go. And to the side. Knees in. Diagonally over the shin. 2 more. In. And. Oh my goodness, I don't know about you, but it feels so good to do this. Even a long weekend where I didn't really do as much as I normally like to do makes a big difference. You gotta be moving. Good. And bring the knees in. Lace your hands underneath your thighs and just round back. Pull against your legs. Squeeze your shoulder blades and sit back up. 2 more times. Exhale, round back. And inhale up. And 1 more time. Exhale. Light Drina, I see you. And up. Let those knees fall right open again. So, knees in, knees out. You can bring them a little closer if you'd like. Reach to the side and up. If you find you can't do this comfortably though, just take them out. That's not really a big deal. In and reach diagonally. And 3 more times. In and in and reach. 2 more. I don't really care where you put your breath as long as you're breathing really deeply and very calmly. Diagonal. 1 more time. In and in and delicious, yes? So you're going to bring your legs in the shape of that letter S. Flex both your ankles. Take your back hip toward your shin. And we've got 3 different positions. So first position, hands go behind the leg. Lean over the leg. Pull your belly button into your spine. Exhale, come up. So you're not really holding it that long. Hand on either side of the knee. Lean over the leg. And Hand on other side of the ankle, lean over the leg. So again, starting behind you. I spoke too soon, now my nose is dripping. Over the knee. Over the ankle. And let's do that 2 more times. Over. In the middle. Hi, Gaia. Over the ankle. And one more time. Oh, thank you, Adrina. We're in my Muskoka room. Center. And that should have just felt really good. Bring the legs in front, slide them forward, pull them up. Do that 2 more times. Slide them forward, sit up tall, pull them up. One more time, just kind of a release. And find your letter S in the other direction. Flexing your ankles, hip toward your shin, going towards the back of your body first. And drawing up in the belly, over the knee, over the ankle. So while we're doing this, I'm going to brag about the brisket we made this weekend. Oh my goodness. Brisket sandwiches with roasted tomatoes. That's right. My brain's obviously still there. Middle. Front. If you find you're cramping or something doesn't feel quite right, you can always come out of the position and go back in when you're ready. Oh my. Let's do one more, just in case. I lost count talking about brisket. And over the ankle. And come center. Bring your legs forward. And up. So now I have feeding commentary about brisket, which makes me really happy. And 2 more. Okay, so we have been working primarily from the waist down, although you are starting to hopefully feel your postural muscles. We are going to work straight up the back and opening the chest now for a little bit. You are going to be utilizing your strap just a little bit, so you know. So the first thing that we're going to do is come to your knees. Take your towel or your strap. Take it about shoulder distance apart, a little bit wider than that. Squeeze your glutes so that nothing moves from the waist down. And just pull against that towel like you're trying to break it. From there, we're going to go up and down. Can you tuck your chin just a little bit? So feel those postural muscles turning on. And know that the stronger you are in your upper back and the back of your shoulder, the more open you are through your chest and the front of your shoulder, and maybe the less neck pain you end up having. And now let's add, go up, pull. You're going to hinge over from the hip. I'm pulling hard as I can. I'm pulling up hard as I can and come center. Drop it. And lifting and I'm rotating up toward the ceiling a little bit with this side of my body. And chest tight. Pull, pull, pull. And one more time. And so delicious. Just move through your arms. Let that all relax. And we're going to come to your stomach. Keep the towel where you can get to it easily. Okay, so the first thing is elbows on the floor, a little bit wider than your shoulders, but about underneath your shoulders. Pull your belly button up to your spine, reach your toes back, squeeze your glutes, and you're going to go ahead and lower your chest to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest up, press your hands hard into the ground. Lower down, lift up, belly button pulls up high. 2 more times. Lower down, lift up. 1 more time. Lower down, Like bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Push your fists into the ground. Drop your shoulders. And just shake your head. Yes. And feel your upper back and how those neck muscles in the back of your neck truly do belong as part of that whole upper back thing. That was very technical to say. 2 more. 1 more. And that was a little work for your low back too, so let's give ourselves 1 child's pose before we continue on. Come back out. Now, your chest is on the ground, your feet are reaching back, tilt so that your pubic bone is pressing into the ground, and bring your hands out, palms facing each other, so they're in the shape of a letter V. Let your forehead reach toward the ground. Keep the back of your neck long, and you're gonna exhale, lift just your arms, shoulder blades together. And you're gonna drop the hands back to shoulder blades, pull towards each other, and you're gonna bring it back down. And let's do that 1 more time. Lift up and hold it. Belly button up against your spine as hard as you can, and squeeze together, lifting the arms from the shoulders. 8 and 7 and 6. Keep your face looking at the floor. 5 and 4 and 3. Child's pose. And let's come up to our knees again. Grab your towel. How are we doing with time? I can't believe how fast this goes. I don't know about you guys. So again, pulling out against your towel or your strap. Shoulder blades are pinching together hard. And we're going to reach up. Shoulders are low. You're going to squeeze your glutes. Don't move your hips. Rotate just a little bit. Cool. And center halfway. Pull hard. And up, Justin. Do you miss the squats? Belly button pulls back. And center. And 2 more. Pull. And rotate. Oh, something just changed with the lighting. And center. And down. And 1 more time. Up. And rotate. Nicoletta. Center. Stay here. Pull harder. And reach over from the hip. Pull harder. This is right in front of my forehead, by the way. And come center. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. You can feel a lot of muscular work through the shoulders, through the upper back, through the core. 2 more. Pull your belly button back. Hips are still, glutes are squeezing. And 1 more. And release. Down on the floor 1 more time. So again, level with your shoulders. Take them out a little bit wider this time. Inhale, belly button to your spine. Reach your feet back. Exhale, lift your chest. Push into the floor. Pull your belly button up as you lay back down. So I'm going to try and make it so that my belly button is the last thing to touch the ground. So up you go. And up you go. Shoulders are low. Keep your feet on the floor. And you do 2 more. Up you go. And 1 more time. Up you go. Hold. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Push the floor away. Drop your head. Say yes. Nice and slow. Let's do 2 more. Laying back down. Take your hands in the shape of the letter V. Palms face each other. Shoulders brace away from your ears. And I don't care where you breathe. Just as long as your breathing is nice and big. Can you lift your chest with your arms this time? So now everything is moving as one package. If that's too much, leave your chest on the floor and just move your arms again. If that feels better to you, I'm fine with that. If you'd like to, add the legs now. Giviano Yoria. And 4 more. Shoulders are low. And 3, relax your toes. Relax your fingers. Relax your face. Last one, we hold. Belly button is pulled up high. And just the arms, not the legs. Pulse 8, 7, shoulder blades pinch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch back. Oh, so you should feel like you've been working now just a little bit. Come back to your knees. We have like one more little section of a little bit of work, and then we're stretching. How are we feeling? Someone give me a thumbs up. You can give me some smack talk by comment too if you felt like it. I'm okay with that. Shake it out. Okay, so focusing sort of on the whole capsule from the hips up. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Palms press into the ground. Now, if you have sensitive wrists, you can go to the flat of your fists. But if you, okay, amazing, good, thank you. If you'd like to strengthen your wrists, you want to be able to try and push your entire palm into the ground. Hey, AJ, good. Push down hard like you're making a handprint in wet sand. Corkscrew your arms up into your shoulders. Beautiful. And your knees are underneath your hips right now. Let's tuck our toes today. Makes it a little less stable. So you're going to take one hand and push it down. This is a solid pillar, so this is not moving at all. The other hand goes behind your head. You're going to reach over, touch your forearm or your wrist if you can, and now push this hand down as you rotate and look up. My hips have to stay still. So we have 5. Belly button pulls up. And 4. And 3. And 2. And one more time. And come back to your knees. We're going to go back to those hip rocks that we did, but this time the focus is actually on your hips and not on your ankles as much. So bringing your knee directly in front of your hip, grab your towel or your strap, squeezing this set of glutes. So the whole reason your body moves is these muscles tighten and they're forcing these muscles to lengthen. At the same time, you're going to be pulling on that strap as hard as you can, nice flat wrist, squeeze, shift forward, and rotate over that front thigh. So we have 5 more. Exhale, squeeze, feel the hip opening up, and squeeze. Delicious, yes? Oh yeah. How tight can you make that butt cheek? 2 more. 1 more. And put this down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Lift your knees just a little bit. Push your hands down into the ground. Walk back to plank. You can just stay here if you prefer. Otherwise, in a down dog. Back to plank. Walk your knees in. Beast, barely off the floor. 3 more. Plank. Down dog. Feel how strong you are. Press those hands down. Corkscrew those upper arms up. 2 more. Plank. Down dog. Plank to beast. Last time. Shaking a little bit, hopefully. And child's pose. Come back to all fours. Other hand pushes into the ground. One hand on your head. How are we on time? Oh, I don't want to run out of time. And pressing down, rotate up. 2 more. 2 more, I lied. You know I was lying too, right? 3 more from here. Last time. Come to kneeling, grab your towel. Other leg goes forward, shifting the glutes forward, opening up the hip flexor, pulling against that towel or that strap. Look at your wrists, are they flat? Shift forward, rotate. Push your front foot into the ground as hard as you can. And rotate. And keep going. Rotate. I see you guys. And rotate. One more time. Rotate. Put it down. Find your beast. Lift those knees. Press your hands down harder, out to plank. Downward dog. Back to plank. Just one more time. Find your beast. Out to plank. Up you go. And slowly walk your hands into your feet. Now you may be able to touch the ground. If you can, that's what I want you to do. If you cannot touch the ground, there's no stress involved. Bend your knees a little bit. Put your hands on your shins and just drop your head. Now inhale. As you exhale, send energy through those feet. Lift your tailbone to the ceiling. Press your chest back into the thighs. And feel the hamstrings, the calves, the hips, the low back, all lengthening. One more deep breath in. And good exhale. Bend your knees. Hands on the thighs. And slowly roll it up. That should have felt pretty darn good. Good. So if you want to hold on to something for balance, you can. You can also take your towel and wrap it around your ankle, if that's easier for you. Otherwise, you're going to grab your ankle. Keep the foot flexed, the ankle flexed, and let your knees kiss, squeezing your glutes and lengthening the front of the thigh. Now we're just going to hold. For balance, there are a couple of tricks that my 100 students have taught me. Belly button here, or finger in your belly button here. Tongue against the roof of your mouth. I say send energy down through your standing foot. You can stay there all day. Deep breath in. Big exhale. The foot that you're holding on to, put the heel on the ground. Put your hand on your opposite thigh. Shift back. Tighten the quads here so that you have a little softness in that knee. Chest reaches forward. Tailbone reaches back and up. And again, feeling the back of that leg. Draw it in. Slowly round. And let's do the other leg. Towel around the ankle, hold on to something, doesn't really matter. But keep that ankle flexed and pull your knees together. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. If you have knee issues and just want to hold the heel up a little bit to feel a little opening there, that's fine. And I don't care what you do with this leg. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Take the legs out wide. Give yourself a hinge. Reach for the opposite shin or ankle and pull away. So you get a good stretch through that lat. And switch. Bend your knees and round up. Feet in a little bit closer together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and you should feel like your arms just open up in a really lovely way. Lengthen your arms if you'd like to, and press through the heels of your hands. So you're stretching out your biceps, your forearms, your wrists, your chest, your shoulders. Squeeze those shoulder blades. One hand on your thigh. And ending like we began. Feet underneath your shoulders, a little bit turned out if you normally have a squat, or do turn out for a squat. Sit down as low as you can and raise your arms. Stay right there. You should feel a lot more able to sit low. You should feel like there's not as much strain through your core muscles, through your hips, through your ankles. Sit a little bit lower. Come up. Bring the feet in. Send energy through the feet. Pull the quadriceps up against your thigh bones. Close your eyes. Squeeze your glutes, opening the front of the hips. Gravity pulls the fingertips down. Shoulders are low and wide. Head floats right up to the ceiling like a big helium-filled balloon. 3 big breaths together, inhaling 4, 3, 2. Hold just a second. And as you exhale, exhale through your mouth. Let everything you're hanging on to go. Any tension in your fingers, in your toes, in your face, let it go. Deep breath in. 2, 3. Hold. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3. And exhale. Thank you so much for joining me on actually this beautiful sunny day. I look forward to seeing you on Friday, where we'll get a lot more sweaty than we did today. But what I hope I did for you is enable you to start your day feeling really good physically, feeling really good mentally, and I'll see you in a few days. Thank you. Happy birthday again, Jade. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.